Hey everyone, it is December 2nd, 2021. I am still out, as you can tell. I am missing you terribly. I cannot wait to come back. I hope you're being good. I hope you're doing your work and following along and not giving my subs too much trouble here. So today you should have your homework out on your desk. It was the Solving Angles worksheet number 2. You need to have something to write with. Remember, I have extra pencils in my drawer in the back left of the room. So if you look back there in the drawers, I have some extra pencils if you need one. Make sure that you're sitting in your assigned seat again, just like every day. I don't want you sitting on the floor. I don't want you sitting at the back tables or anywhere. Please be in your assigned seat, be where you're supposed to be, and be good and respectful. I am planning on coming back next Tuesday, so I will be back very soon. All right, go ahead and pause the video. And as soon as everyone has their desk cleared, they have their homework on it, and they have a pencil or something to write with, I will be ready to go and we'll go over their homework. Okay. As they have their homework out, if you would please stamp anybody that did their homework. Remember, the homework yesterday was to do 1 and 3, and then you had to choose any 3 of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, or 16. So they just had to choose 3 of these. So the stamp is up by my overhead projector. If you can go ahead and just put a stamp on the top of the paper right here of anybody who attempted their homework. So they don't have to have the right answer, but they have to have attempted or made a good faith effort at working through some of these problems. Okay, so the homework was any 3. Go ahead and pause the video, stamp anybody's paper that they attempted. We did number 5, number 7, and number 9 together in class. So their job was to attempt 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, or 16, any of those 3. Go ahead and pause the video and then restart it once everybody is ready. All right, so number 1, 2, 3, and 4, if you attempted those, I've already pre-done them. Just check your answers. This was from Tuesday's work. This was our old learning. It was all interior angles add up to 180 degrees. And so I have 180 minus the 65 minus the 57 is going to leave you 58 degrees for this last angle. Okay, so number 1 is 58. Number 2, 40 was given and 90 was given, and all 3 of them need to be 180. So 180 minus the 90 minus the 40 leaves you with 50 degrees. So number 2 is 50 degrees. Okay. Number 3, 130 and 20 were given. That's 150, which means there's 30 left because 150 and 30 is that 180. Okay. Number 4, remember you didn't have to do number 2 or number 4, but if you did, I wanted to go over them just in case. I have 180 total for the interior angles. When I subtract 85 and I subtract the 50 that were given, I'm left with 25 for this missing angle right here. Okay. All right. Moving down, remember, if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand, ask the sub to pause the video, and you can go over and talk about it with the sub or talk about it as a whole group to be able to figure this out. All right, number 5 we did in class. So we're going to go over to number 6. If anybody chose number 6 as one of their 3 homeworks to do, we're going to go over that right now. So if you did not choose number 6, follow along with me. By the time that we are done with today, every problem on this sheet should be done. Okay? Every problem on this sheet should be done. So if you did not choose this one as your homework, have your pencil and follow along. All right. So as this shows right here, it's saying that we're looking for this exterior angle right here. I'm going to pause really fast. I just realized you might have a different sub in the room than you've had in previous days. And so just for the subs background knowledge, they have notes in their journal. On Monday or Tuesday, excuse me, we took notes in via Zoom on properties of interior angles of a triangle. So they should have those notes. All interior angles add up to 180 degrees. Yesterday, we took notes on vertical angles and we took notes on exterior angles, so the outside angles. So those should also be found inside of their journals. And so this right here is going to put those ideas together. We also, our third idea that we've been learning this week is that anytime there's a straight line, it adds up to 180 degrees. All right. And that's also in the previous video. You can find it in Google Classroom. So if you missed Tuesday or Wednesday, I've posted those videos in your Google Classroom, but there also should be in everybody's journals and notes. All right. So moving forward, we are looking for this exterior angle right here. But like we talked about yesterday, we have to become a detective. And in order to find this exterior angle, I need to know this angle. All right? Because that would be that straight line that adds up to 180 degrees. But in order to find this angle, I need to use that interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So I need to know how much this angle's worth. All right. And so I keep looking and do I have a clue that I can figure out? And I do. Ding, 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 right here. I know that this angle is 35 degrees. And these angles are what type of angles? Do you remember if they point to each other? They have that specific name. If you said vertical angles, either out loud or in your head, you are right. These are vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So if this angle is 35 degrees, then this one is 35 degrees also. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So if I have this angle and this angle, I now have two of the three that I need for my interior angles to add up to 180. So I'm going to take that idea that interior angles add up to 180 degrees, and I know that one of them is 100 degrees, this one right here. And I now know that this one is 35. So if I subtract 100 and I subtract 35 from that 180, I am left with, well, 100 is 80, minus 30 is 50, minus 5, I'm left with 45 degrees. Okay, so I have 45 degrees is this angle right here. And if this angle is 45 degrees, if you turn your head just ever so slightly, oops, let me try to move that over. If you turn your head ever so slightly, you will notice that this is a straight line right here. See that straight line? And we know that straight lines add up to 180 degrees. So this 45 degrees plus this one are going to add up to 180. And so this angle right here is going to be 135 degrees, because 135 plus the 45 equals 180. So if you said 135 degrees for that missing angle, you are correct. Okay. Heading on down to number 7 we did together in class. So let's look at number 8. Remember, we're using 3 ideas. We're either using straight angles add up to 180 degrees, interior sums add up to 180 degrees, or vertical angles. So here's the one we're looking for. I become this detective, and I know in order to find this one, I need to know this one. And in order to know the interior angles, I need to know this one. Okay, so I got to find this one first. So I kind of look around, and I'm going to leverage this idea that straight angles add up to 180 degrees. So if this angle is 155, 180 minus 155. And if you're really struggling with this adding and subtracting, you can go ahead and make a decision, pause that video, and have everyone grab a calculator. Calculators might make this go a lot faster, because then you can just enter 180 minus 155 into the calculator, and that will help you out to know that that is 25 degrees. So as a sub, go ahead and decide, do I think that they need to grab a calculator? If so, they're on the back wall. And if they're going to use my calculators at the end of the day, just make sure at the end of the period that all the calculators that get borrowed get put back up into the wall. Okay? All right. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to grab calculators. If not, we're going to keep on going. All right. So if this is 155, then this one right here is going to be 25 because 25 and 155 are 180. Okay, so that was that straight angle. Now I know that all the interior sums of this triangle add up to 180. So if I have 180 degrees for the inside and I used 25 degrees for one of my angles and I used 60 degrees for my other angle, then I am left with, what's it? 60, 70, 80. So it'll be 195 degrees left for that X. 95 degrees. Okay, so if this right here is 95 degrees, it's no longer X, it's now 95 degrees, right? We just found this angle right here. Then now I'm going to use that straight angles add up to 180 degrees again, because notice I have a straight line right here, and this straight line adds up to 180 degrees. And so 95 plus something is 180. Well, it's going to be these two angles, 60 and 25, so 85 degrees. My question mark is 85 degrees. All right, so if you said 85 degrees, nice job. All right, number 9 we did together in class. So moving on to number 10. Remember, these are getting more and more complicated as we go, but we're still going to use those 3 ideas. We're going to leverage those 3 ideas, and that is interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. The second idea was straight angles or straight lines equal 180 degrees, and that vertical angles are congruent, which are the same degrees. Right, those were our 3 learnings that we've been talking about the last couple of days. So we're going to see, can I use any of those here? And I'm going to say, ultimately, I want to know how many degrees are this angle right here. In order to find that, I need to use these interior angles. So I'm going to need to know this one. And I don't know that one, but I do know that here's a triangle. And if I know 2 of the degrees, I can find that 3rd degree. Okay, so I need to say 60 plus 65 plus what is 180? And that's going to be 55. And the reason that I could do that in my head is I know that a 60, 60, 60 would be 180. And if I had 60 here, then this, and 5 of it's extra here, then I have 5 less here. Okay, so I now know that this angle is 55. I then am going to say, all right, what else of these can I kind of leverage? And I can see a straight angle adds up to 180. Well, right here is a straight angle, which means that 55 plus this 50 plus this x need to equal 180. So I'm going to say I can find that x if I take that 180 and I minus the 50. Oopsie. And if you have a calculator, it goes a lot faster, and you minus the 55, that's 100, which is going to leave me 80 minus 5, so that's going to be 75. Oopsie, I probably should have, let me erase that. 75 degrees. All right, so this x right here is 75 degrees. We just found that out because of the straight angles. Now, this seems kind of tedious, doesn't it? It's a lot of work to find that missing angle. But if I know this is 75 degrees, which one of these 3 things are going to help me to know this question mark? And if you said, oh, interior angles add up to 180, you're right. These 3 need to equal 180. So if this one's 70 and 30, that's 100. 5 and 5 is 10, so there's 110 here, which leaves me 70 left for here, because 110 plus 70 equals that 180. So if you said 70, give yourself a high five. Nice job. Okay. All right. Whew. We're working through. If you need to shake out your hands and do that, but we're going to keep on going. All right, here we go. They've given us some information. Remember, I'm just going to bring this right here. I'm going to just bring it down here so that you can remember it again. Okay. All right. So we are looking for this angle right here, which would be an interior angle. So I can use the interior angles as soon as I know this one. Okay. And I don't know this one until I'm looking and I'm like, wait a second, here's a triangle. I bet I can find this little chunk right here using these interior angles of a triangle. So I know that a triangle is 180 degrees. I know that this angle is 84. And I know that this angle is 36. All right. And so to find this one right here, just this part, just this chunk right here, I'm going to subtract these. Well, 180 minus 80 is 100. And 6 and 4 is 10. So minus the 10 is 90. Minus the 30 is 60. So I'm going to have 60 degrees left. 60 degrees left. For this little chunk right here is 60 degrees, okay? Now here's something new, is that this whole chunk right here is a right angle. So how many degrees is a right angle? Can anyone remember how many degrees there is in a right angle? If you said 90, you are correct. So if 60 of it is here, that leaves 30 of it left for here, because 60 and 30 is 90. Okay. So now we're getting somewhere. So now I can use interior angles of a triangle are 180 because I know two of them. I have 80 and 30 is 120, 126 actually, because of that 6. So I'm going to take that 180 and I'm going to subtract 126 that I already have, and I'm going to have left, what is it, 54? 56, 54 degrees. 54 degrees is going to be the question mark, because let's double check. 54, 64, 74, 84, 90. Oh no, I think it's going to be 64. Let's double check that. 60, 70, 80, 90, plus the 4 and the 6 is 100, and the 80. Oh, it's 64 degrees right here. Ooh, somebody probably thought they caught me. They said, oh no, Mrs. Barnum, it wasn't 54, it was 64. Awesome. Okay. I think it looks better when I type it out rather than draw it. Number 12, couple more to go. Go ahead and give this one a try if you haven't. Be thinking, what in the world is it going to be? We are looking for this one, and we're going to leverage these 3 ideas. Okay. So if I'm thinking, can I see any interior angles that I can find? And if I look, I think right here, here's this triangle, and here's 2 of the degrees, which means this one right here is going to add up to 180 with these other 2. So I'm going to take the 180, if you have a calculator, and I'm going to subtract what I know. I know 35, and I know 23. Okay. And if I subtract those, 180 minus the 30 is 150, minus the 20 is 130, 125, 124, 123. Is that right? Oh, yeah. My brain is losing its mind. Okay, I'm just going to write 123 here, and then I'm going to double check my math. All right. Here's how I double check in my head. I go like this. And let's see. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Nope, it can't be 123. Let's try 122. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 122. Okay, so this one's 122. Now, how does that help me? If I see here, do I see any vertical angles? Check it out. I think I see a vertical angle. This angle right here points to this angle right here. So if this one's 122, then that means that this one is also 122. Okay. Okay, now I'm back up here. Interior angles are congruent. So I'm going to take that 180 and I minus the 122. And I'm going to minus the 27 that's already been given. All right. And 7, 8, 9. So I know it's going to be a 149, which is going to be 31 degrees. All right. See, because when I go and I double check, this is really driving me crazy because every time I touch on it, it gives me those blue boxes. It's hard for me to think. 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Yes. So this question mark is 31 degrees. 31 degrees. Awesome. Okay. Really hard for me to know how you're doing, if you're getting this or if this is really struggling. If you send me an email and say, Mrs. Abarno, I either really get this or no, I'm really struggling, I would appreciate it. It would help me. I'm also today you're going to have 2 assignments in Google Classroom. One of them is going to be quizzes where you're going to practice some of these. It's going to give me feedback, and the other one's just going to be a quick poll to let me know 1 to 5 how you're feeling with solving these degrees. Okay, so keep following along. We have a few more to go. We are looking for this angle right here. And man almighty, I'm trying to decide. I think if I knew this one, I could use straight angles, but I don't. And so I'm just trying to think, what can I find? So I'm not sure exactly what I need to know, but let's just kind of start. I know this angle is 115, and I see that this is a straight line. So I know that this one right here has to be 180 minus the 115. Because straight angles add up to 180 degrees. So I'm just going to start saying, I'm going to just start finding some stuff, some angles that I know and start filling them in. So that means this one right here must be 65 degrees because 65 plus 115 is 180. Okay, 65 degrees. Well, if I know this one and this one, that means I can find this one because those are interior angles. Interior angles are congruent. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to say 180 minus the 65 minus the 85, and that's going to give me, let's see, 80, 90, 130 degrees. I'm going to say 30 degrees. All right, because 80, 90, 100, 110, 170, 180, yeah. All right, so now good to go. I know that one. That still doesn't get me to here, but it does get me farther because I see another straight line. And I know that this straight line adds up to 180. So if this one's 30 and this one's 90, 90 plus 30 is 120, that means that this one must be 60. All right. I'm finding all these angles. I still haven't found the one I want, but I'm getting closer. Okay. So I need to know this one. I can't find that one yet, but I see another straight angle up here. Check this one out. Here's a straight angle. I know straight angles add up to 180 degrees. So if this one's 155, this one must be, I'm going to write it out here so it's easier, 25, because 25 plus 155 is 180. Whew. Okay. Now I see that I have 2. Here's a triangle right here. And I know 2 of the angles, so I can find the third missing angle because I know that I have 180 degrees as my triangles, minus the 25 that's there, minus the 60, and 180 minus the 25 minus the 60 is going to leave me with 95 degrees, I believe. Let's double check. That's 10. Yep, 95 degrees. Okay, so this one is 95 degrees. Okay, how does that help me? Well, one more time, I see Then I have a straight line right here. And so this straight angle is going to add up to 180 degrees. So if this one's 95, then this one right here must be 85. Yeah, this one right here is going to be 85 degrees. I'm just going to write it down here. All right. So if you got 85 degrees on number 13, give yourself a double high five. That was, whoa, that was a hard one. That was a long way around. Okay. All right. 3 more to go. Mrs. Abarno, you are crazy. Why did you assign so much homework? Okay. Actually, you only had to pick 3, didn't you? All right. Here's the one we're looking for. We've got some clues. I've got 20 and 35 is 55, which means this one's going to be 125 because 125 plus 20 is 145 plus 30 is 175 plus the 5 is 180. Then I notice these are vertical angles. So if this one's 125, then that means this one's 125. All right. And then I notice that this is a straight angle. And so these are going to add up to 180. So if this one's 156, this one's going to be 24 because 24 plus 156 is 180. And then last but not least, I can find that missing angle because I know they all add up to 180. 180 minus 125 minus 24. Like that is going to be, let's see, 100. It's going to be 31. Is that right? I'm going to type it down and then I'm going to double check my work. Let's see. 24, 25, 55, 67. Yep, 31 degrees. So this one right here is 31 degrees. Missing angle. All right. 2 more to go. Holy cow. This one right here is the missing angle. If I knew this one, I could find it, but I don't. So I'm going to go back and look for some other clues. I see a vertical angle here. So if this one's 45, then this one's 45. I see a triangle, so I know they add up to 180. I know that 60 plus 40 is 100. 105, so that means this one must be 75 because 75 plus 145 or 105 equal 180. Okay. Still haven't gotten over here yet, but I'm working along. I see another straight angle right here. See this straight line? So I know that this one plus this one plus this one equal 180. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take that 180 minus the 75, which is going to give me 105, minus the 68. Draw that line. And that's going to be 58 degrees. 58 degrees. Okay. So that means this angle right here is 58 degrees. And I leverage that idea. I see another triangle right here. So I know that all of the angles on the inside right here need to add up to 180. So I have 158, 68, 78. So that means this one must be 22, which means that this one right here is another straight line. 180 minus 22 is 50. 158, sorry, 158 is the question mark. Okay. Last but not least, I knew we would make it. Hopefully you're still with me. We're looking for this one. In order to know this one, I've got to find this one. In order to find this one, I've got to find this one. In order to find this one, I've got to find this one. And in order to find this one, I need to know this one and this one. Whew. So this one's 75 degrees. Vertical angles are congruent. This one is also 75 degrees. This one's 45 degrees. Here's another vertical angle. Vertical angles are congruent. So this one's also 45 degrees. Okay. Then I have interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. And so I see a triangle right here. I know that they're going to add up to 180. 180 minus the 75 is 105. Minus the 5 is 100. Minus the 40 is 60. So this one must be 60 degrees. Okay. Now I see that I have a straight angle right here. So I know that they're going to add up to 180. 180 minus 79 is 101. Minus the 60 is what? 41? So this one's going to be 41 degrees. All right. And then I see another triangle right here. So I know that these interior angles are going to add up to, 180 degrees. And so I'm going to add them up, or I'm going to subtract them. 180 minus the 68 minus the 41. And I know that 60 and 40 is 109. So it means that's going to leave me 1 degrees left for that outside angle. 71. I think that's right, because 71. Let's check it out. 180. Let's just do it here to make sure. If I have 180 and I subtract 68 and I subtract 41, I'm left with 71 degrees. Okay, that's right. All right. So if this one's 71 degrees, and this is a straight angle, this one's going to be 109. All right. That was a lot. Hopefully you followed along. Hopefully you've learned a few things. Go ahead and pause the video if anyone has questions, or if I went too fast or too slow, or wake somebody up if they fell asleep. Pass all your papers to the left. Make sure your name is on it. Skylar will get your papers if Skylar's in class today. Skylar, make sure you put them in the left side inbox, which is the left side 5th period. I think it's the 3rd one down. Collect all of the papers, and then your job today is to log into Google Classroom. You are going to have a quiz is assignment that is going to be solving the missing angle. And then you are also going to take a quick survey poll that I put in there asking how you're doing with your subs for the week. All right. I miss you guys. I will see you soon. Log into Google Classroom and finish your homework there. It'll be due tomorrow.